Previously on BodyWorkBoxing.
That's Tuesday, but it's some, it's a big fights coming on this weekend. Big heavyweights, Bivol coming back. But Wilder fighting, Anthony Joshua fighting, all of them big. They call it the day of reckoning, and everybody else. I let a lot of people that's in that lane cover it. So I've been, waiting and watching. So if you want to look into that, that's what's coming up this weekend.
Yeah, that Joshua fight, believe me, that's long overdue. We've been waiting to see them two in the ring for the longest time.
One party saying they want it next. One party saying the other party don't sound interested. I just tune in and listen to other people when it comes to that, because that can get a little messy. You know what I'm saying? I just want to see them two fight, and they both gotta do their thing, because they're not standing across from any chumps in this one. They not. Joseph Parker for Wilder is a challenge. Everybody keeps saying that right hand. I keep saying, well, you gotta think, man. Wilder has out of 2 years of boxing, Wilder fought one round. I mean, yeah, it's different, and everybody say this. We seen what happened with Earl. We seen what happened with Stephen Fulton. We seen what happened with Jermell Charlo. Maul Charlo did okay, even though he was fighting up against Jose Benavidez. But inactivity is a killer. Like, you can have all that, whatever. I think Parker says that he's aware of the right hand, and Fury told him watch out for the right hand. Now, if that right hand get through, we already know what's going on. But I'm looking at it like, man, Wilder had one round in the last 2 years, and he ain't no spring chicken. So I think Wilder he sound like he amped. He calling himself Dr. Sleep. So he's saying that Joseph Parker better have his pillow. AJ, he's fighting Otto Wallin, who gave Fury. So a lot of people was gonna say that Otto Wallin actually would have beat Fury, or they should have stopped that fight when he cut Fury up like that. But Otto Wallin can box. It's a big stage, and they know, both of them guys, Joseph Parker and Otto Wallin, knows that everybody want to see Wilder and AJ fight next, or they want to get it on, and they can upset the apple cart. So it's some interesting factors in it. I don't have any dogs in those races or anything. You know what I'm saying? I'm just gonna be a spectator on that one. But I want.
He didn't want to box. He wanted to actually prove that he could punch with you. He was like, what the fuck is this nigga, right? Oh, okay, you want to go to sleep. You tired.
Welcome to Bodywork. Welcome back. It's Michael Rogers. Welcome to Bodywork Boxing. I'm excited. I think that the reset button on the heavyweight division has officially been set, and Anthony Joshua has cemented himself at the top of the food chain. Yeah. I think a lot of the conversations surrounding the heavyweight division can stop being so clouded now, because, a lot like Spence and Bud and Tank and Devin, like the conversation between AJ and Wilder can be very toxic. And before this fight, a lot of people made those conversations like pretty toxic, only because, when you're fans of a fighter above everything else, it makes you irrational to things that are being said about that fighter. I had to take a step back and analyze myself. This year was a year of calibration in boxing, if we really think about it. I had to calibrate a lot of things. Like, somebody would tell me, I had a partner of mine that told me what was going to happen with Bud and Spence. Wayne, he's supposed to have a featured segment on the show, Wayne's World. Every Wednesday, we looking to do that. But he told me, and I'm like, wow, and I'm like, because I was a fan of Earl Spence as a fighter. So it kind of made me oblivious to a lot of things in the lead up and the build up, and when things were said, and not considering inactivity and all that. I really beat myself up after that, because I was like, man, nobody saw that coming. But there were flags, there were signs. And leading up to this fight, it was flags and signs. When we speak about Wilder, when people made it to where I was somewhere and somebody said they don't even trust anybody who don't like Deontay Wilder. I'm like, well, I guess we not talking about boxing. So I politely, dipped out of there. You know what I'm saying? I mean, and I was like, man, before that, I was like, man, the vibes were good. The conversation around boxing was good. It's just, we got to get to a point now, man, where if you're a real boxing channel, it's not all about the gossip. It's not all about what's going on Twitter and Instagram and how many follows and likes this person. It's not about that. It's really about the X's and O's of boxing, like what's going on inside the ring and the factors that lead up to things that can happen inside the ring. In a 2-year time frame, Deontay Wilder had boxed 1 round against a guy that he sparred over 100 rounds. I remember getting like a lot of backlash online when I was like, man, if somebody like one of these boxers, let's just say it's you like a boxer like Shakur. Let's just say Shakur pulls somebody up off the couch who was retired and overweight and on drugs and contemplating, unaliving themselves. Like, would you support that? I got a lot of backlash because that's what I say happened when it came down to Fury. And the writing has been on the wall for a long time. Even the post-fight, conversations around it. I was witnessing, a lot of talk around it, and some people that I think, they like to talk boxing logically, and it's the conversation around Deontay Wilder is still skewed. People are still hoping and praying and believing and wishing that he's going to be, but it's like, it's crazy how when it comes down to certain boxers, you can really analyze what they say post-fight, and then other ones you just skim all over it. Deontay Wilder in several interviews has said he always take this, I don't know. We gotta see, you gotta think. I made a lot of money, I'm really well off. I really don't need, like basically he said I really don't need boxing anymore. With that kind of mindset, and for people that's thinking somebody might be biased, I was big on the young big baby, Jared Anderson. Like, he was coming up, I'm like, man, this guy. Then I start hearing that, he don't really know if he want to box. Then I'm like, man, that just speaks to, it's some people that really, that's all they want to do. So if it's somebody that's 1 foot in, 1 foot out, it makes me question. You can have all the tools in the world, but Wilder been saying this. You know what I'm saying? Wilder been saying this for a while. He been saying, look, man, I done made enough money. We're well off. I don't have to do this. Malik Scott has gotten the benefit of the doubt of so many things, you know what I'm saying? And don't even bring up Breland. But the writing's been on the wall. I think that both parties knew, AJ and Wilder knew going into their fights, that statements need to be made. AJ was getting a lot of criticism, and I was like, remember when he beat Franklin? I did this video called the Haney Method. I said, keep that same energy, because people was all like, oh, he didn't get the stoppage. And I'm like, look, man, he's implementing a new scheme, a new strategy with Derrick James. You know what I'm saying? Franklin had already shown a good account of himself before. This is a decent fight for somebody that's working and trying to retool and rebuild. He got no credit for that and how he went through that fight and the mentality and all that. The very next fight, when it came down to Helenius, they were like, oh man, he got the stoppage, but he did it too late. Now we got Otto Wallin. People were saying, oh man, he's gonna do this, he's gonna do that. And it was a big talk about him and Derrick James, and they was putting more emphasis on the fact that he dropped Derrick. Like, nobody really knows. I never heard anything that he actually dropped Derrick James. What I do know is that maybe AJ fought a little bit more relaxed in this fight because Derrick James is a cerebral guy. But you can see the science in full effect. I think that he was able to be himself, be natural. At one point in time, he was doing the Robeisy Romero feints. I was like, feints, and then like he was just so active and instinctive and powerful. And the jab was just like, and he had charisma walking down on him. You know what I'm saying? He showed a lot of different things in that fight on a big stage. So I think that he submitted himself at the top, and I think that if we're gonna be responsible about boxing, man, we gotta start giving credit to some of these other guys out here. There are some other, like Jared, Big Baby. This little dude is a problem. You know what I'm saying? I think if politics around boxing don't, influence this young man, I think that he's very dangerous. I think Ajagba is very dangerous. He was showing he can work behind the jab, and when he get ready, you know what I'm saying, and let that thunder crack, you know, he's gonna lay it on you. So a jog was good. I think Dubois is getting all of the, you know, he's getting the different experiences that he needs, and that's gonna pay big dividends. He's a force to be working with. I still like the young dude Fabio Wardley. He's a young dude to be working with. We seen what Joseph Parker was able to do. That was nothing but confidence building. You still got Zhang, Big Bang Zhang out there. There is a guy. There is a guy that nobody is really saying right now, that I think I would say he has a chance against any of these guys right now, and nobody says anything. It reminds me when Boots really started getting his notoriety, and I was just like, man, this man is Sasquatch feet. His name is Frank Sanchez. Oh yeah, that's a name that ain't nobody ringing no doorbells. Ain't nobody, you never hear nobody calling out Frank Sanchez. You never hear it. He looked like one of the most dangerous heavyweights in boxing right now, and nobody says his name. But I think that, you know, you got a guy like Frank Sanchez out there that, you know, until he get a lot of people behind him, pushing him and promoting him, you know, he just gonna keep fighting and putting in that work. But I think AJ is on top right now. You know what I'm saying? We got to see what's going on with Fury and Usyk. I think he's on top right now because he done bounced back, and he showed up under the big bright lights. So in the day of reckoning, AJ said, I reckon. You know, what do you think about the standings in the heavyweight division? You know what I'm saying? We can start having some honest dialogue. It's okay to express that you might be a fan of Jared Anderson. It's okay to express that you might be a fan of Frank Sanchez. Because right now, if you on the other side of anybody, if you can even express the fact that you might be an Andy Ruiz fan. You can express that now. It's okay to express that, because we in a time right now where boxing conversations around certain boxers just aren't real. They're not genuine. They're not authentic. You know what I'm saying? Whether you like the boxer or not, people don't be really real about it. It's okay to start expressing that you might be a fan. You know what I'm saying? I think just like when the welterweight division, like, you know, a lot of Spence and Bud fans, it's okay to express that you might be a Boots fan. You might like what you see in Stan Giannis. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's okay to say, all right, it's a young dude named Jalil Hackett coming up under the radar that I have an interest in. It's okay to start expressing, like, you know, especially if you're not boxing monogamous, where you can only like one boxer. You know what I'm saying? There's some other guys out there. But really on the heavyweight thing, man, I think AJ proved that he might be that guy right now. And that's it's just, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? That's how I feel about it. Anyways, I like to get your comments on it. I like to get your thoughts on it. You know what I'm saying? Well, how do you see everything playing out now? I think AJ looked really good. You know, I love to get your feedback. Here at BodyWorkBoxing, where we don't take things for face value. We do that body work. Welcome to BodyWork.